It all kicks off right here on the Celestial Breeze. Just look at this magnificent vessel, an absolute masterpiece of magical craftsmanship, just gliding effortlessly over the crystal clear ocean. But that whole serene vibe, it is violently shattered by a devastating pirate cannonball smashing right into the hull. Just like that, vacation mode is completely over. Even a second to hesitate, our heroes spring into action. On one side, you've got Toda, our Emberkin Simia hybrid, radiating searing heat from his magma core. And right beside him is Bayou, the incredibly agile Simia archer. They have to instantly coordinate this split-second defense against a swarm of boarding pirate brutes. While Todabar and Bayou are brawling up top, Rue, our human-Earthkin hybrid, is trapped all the way down on level -2 in the engine room, and things down there are escalating incredibly fast. Down in that engine room, the tension is just off the charts. Rue spots Yusuf clutching this highly suspicious box. Remember, this is the guy she noticed earlier, smelling like crab powder. Alaris rushes down to help, and they pull off this brilliant bit of elemental deception. Alaris conjures fake smoke from under a locked door, while Rue sparks a real fire inside. This totally tricks the ship's Minotaur guards into busting the door down for them. Realizing Yusuf's box is actually a bomb, Alaris doesn't hesitate, boom, hits him with a sleep spell.
I know what you are doing, Yusuf. Sleep now!
Meanwhile, back up top, the action is just absolutely relentless. Bayou uses his agility. Actually, scratch that. He literally uses Toda as a physical springboard to vault himself right onto the yacht's roof. Elevated vantage point, he's just raining down this barrage of explosive arrows, completely wiping out massive chunks of the invading pirate crew. And we have to talk about the sheer scale difference here. It's wild. Our tiny hedge witch, Fable, is basically a speck compared to the enemy, but she bravely flies straight over to the pirate vessel. She nukes the enemy crew with fireflies, goes toe-to-toe with their towering pirate captain, Claxton, hitting him with a massive essence drain. Essence drain! But, of course, the pirate captain doesn't just roll over. He hits back with this chilling dark magic, summoning a frozen hailstorm that actually knocks Fable completely unconscious. And then, it gets worse. He uses that same dark magic to animate the lifeless bodies of the dead pirates, fusing them into this massive, terrifying abomination that leaps right onto the yacht.
Arise from the depths! Flesh and bone, bind and serve me!
The captain then tries to teleport and ambush Bayou, but Bayou's Skykin training makes him so fast he literally leaves an afterimage. The captain's sword hits nothing but air. So, holding the line falls to Toda. He heroically squares off against this giant undead monstrosity, takes a serious beating, but ultimately smashes it to pieces with his searing magma fists. Just a totally epic moment. But, man, that victory comes at a heavy price. Toda is completely drained, exhausted, and the pirate captain seizes that exact moment. He teleports right behind the exhausted gorilla and slashes him down. Just a brutal, cowardly strike in the back. Toda slops unconscious right there on the deck. Sensing things are going bad upstairs, Rue takes the elevator up and steps out just in time to see the captain standing over Toda's body. Thinking her friend is dead, she just loses it. Pure, unfiltered rage. She screams his name, instantly transforms into a massive bull, and just charges. She delivers this absolutely devastating trample right into the captain. At this point, the captain is heavily bruised and realizes he's losing. He attempts a desperate escape by teleporting onto the ocean and magically forming ice patches to sprint across the water. But he kind of forgot about the sniper on the roof. Bayou takes aim, fires, and snipes the fleeing captain right in the ankle.
Now I have you.
The ice shatters and the captain sinks straight into the dark depths of the ocean. Right, let's cut back down below deck because the situation down there deteriorated fast. Ilaris' sleep spell wore off way too early. Yusuf breaks free, triggers the bomb's countdown, and brutally stabs Ilaris twice before a Minotaur guard finally slays Yusuf in the chaos. Bleeding out and with seconds on the clock, Ilaris throws a magical barrier around the bomb, realizes it's feeding off the ship's magical core, and expertly severs that connection. He literally saved the entire vessel with maybe a second to spare. So, immediate threats are neutralized, right? But they realize they need the captain's body for answers. So Rue boldly transforms into a giant octopus and dives into the pitch black water. She actually has to race against these terrifying sea monsters who are trying to eat the captain for a snack. She manages to drag him back up, though the monsters did manage to bite off his left foot in the struggle. Next up, investigating the enemy ship. They secure some amazing loot from the captain's quarters. Ilaris finds this magically disguised empty chest, but brilliantly deduces that speaking the pirate ship's name, the Frozen End, acts as the password. The illusion drops, revealing runes, gems, and gold.
The Frozen End. Incredible!
And then, for a little dramatic flair, Bayo sinks the entire pirate vessel with a single, perfectly placed fire arrow.
Good riddance.
Okay, this is where we pivot into the investigation phase, and honestly, the plot thickens so much here. Let's look at the clues because the pieces just do not add up. That Yusuf they fought on the ship, his dead body reverted to a mystic form elf. Meanwhile, back at the resort, the real Yusuf is found dead in his room with a broken neck and, get this, bizarre flora actually growing out of his stomach. Throw in stolen spices linked to that previous crab monster attack, plus missing VIP delegates, and we're looking at a massive conspiracy. A tattoo they find on the fake Yusuf's back confirms our absolute worst fears. It links directly to the Order of the Sun and Skies. We aren't just dealing with greedy pirates anymore. This is a full-blown apocalyptic cult, actively seeking to connect the realm to demons and plunge the entire world into total darkness. So who's actually pulling the strings? Well, among the pirate loot was a magical speaking orb. Think of it like a high fantasy walkie-talkie. It hums to life, and a dwarven delegate on the ship recognizes the voice on the other end. It is Odette Cornair-Valet. She's this highly dangerous exiled dwarven princess who is practically infamous for creating horrific bioweapons and experimenting on living people. Ilaris, ever the quick thinker, completely tricks Odette. He speaks into the orb, pretending to be one of the pirate captain's surviving flunkies, and reports that the yacht was successfully destroyed.
Captain ate too much crabs. He's in emergency bathroom situation right now.
Odette's response is incredibly chilling. She just says, "The masters will be satisfied." That confirms she orchestrated this whole attack, but far worse, it means she answers to an even higher, darker power. Odette signs off the transmission with this super creepy cult mantra, "All shall be one under the eternal frost." When you connect that cold, dark ambition with the strangely happy, mutant plant life Fable found growing right out of the real Yusuf's corpse back at the resort, it paints a really disturbing picture. They're facing a magical and biological threat unlike anything we've seen so far. Which leaves us hanging on a massive cliffhanger. The party survived the terror on the high seas, but the true enemy is quite literally waiting for them back on land. If the Order of the Sun and Skies is already this deeply entrenched within the resort's staff and delegates, I mean, who can they even trust at this point? What kind of twisted biological horrors are waiting for our heroes in Season 3?